Michi ni yokoso. Hey everyone, fancy this. If Japanese ever made you feel like Hiragana, katakana, kanji, furigana, romaji, JLPT, keigo. Nani kore? We'll be fixing this right here. I'm learning Japanese for about 5 years now, and this journey is full of notebooks, flashcards, and so much practice. I also have JLPT and 5 certificates, so we'll be starting with the same foundational level that every beginner friendly usually follows. In this series, I'll be teaching you Japanese in simple English, sometimes thoda sa Hindi, and real Japanese along the way. There will be no boring lectures, just simple explanations, patterns, and practice with engaging characters so you can actually understand the language. In today's video, we're just getting started. I'll show you how Japanese works, the scripts, the levels, and how you can start your own learning plan. So if you are ready to start your Japanese journey, you're starting right here with me. それでは行きましょうか。I'll be displaying this to you here because as you can see it's not visible from you. Okay, so before we jump into learning Japanese, the first question is why even learn it? Why even learn Japanese? Right? For some people it starts with anime or manga. You watch something and suddenly you're like, wait, what's the meaning of that word? Sometimes it's culture. You might like their food, tradition, or their travel, anything. For others, it's career opportunities. Japan has amazing companies and a lot of job opportunities if you know the language. Only if you know the language. Yep, I won't say that there isn't any for foreigners who doesn't know the language, but there's quite few, and if you want to move to Japan, you need to know the language because everyone there doesn't really know English and they're actually stick to their authentic language, that is Japanese, right? And for other people, for rest of the people, honestly we think that Japanese is really a super good language. The way they speak is just cool and we just want to learn it. So whichever your reason is, whatever you think that I should learn Japanese because of that or because of this, that's your starting point. And we're gonna start learning Japanese because of that. Alright, so we're gonna start our Japanese learning with scripts and greetings. We're not gonna talk about greetings as you know already, but we're gonna talk about scripts. So there are basically three scripts. Three scripts. Yes, three scripts. Okay, that seems a bit hard and overwhelming, but it's alright. It usually isn't that hard. Oh, well, it is. But we're gonna make that easy for you. Okay, so there is three scripts and two of them is a basic one, which isn't really a problem for us. You can see there is 46 plus 46 plus okay, what do we say, letters? Yes, and not really. If 46 are the basic one and then we modify it a bit and it increases, right? So, and it's not that hard, just take it as 46 and I'll make sure that you will learn those 46 characters easily. So hiragana is basically for the Japanese words vocabulary, right? Name like Michi, our YouTube channel. Michi will be written in hiragana. And mansi, which is a foreign word, it isn't a Japanese word, so we're gonna write in katakana. So katakana is used for foreign words, whereas hiragana is used for Japanese words. And then we have our most horrifying script, that is kanji. Kanji are the characters borrowed from China, and it's not actually the sound when like Michi, it's a whole kanji, it's a whole letter. but it's not really a letter. It's not describing a sound, just like a, e, u, e, o, or ka, or si, any kind of that. No, it's basically representing a whole word, right? Bichi, a full meaning of it, a full word, and that's how kanji are used. So, and there are 3,000, 50,000 kanjis. Like, you don't really have to count them, but yeah, basically around 50,000. And you don't, one good news, you don't really have to know every single kanji, and it's not the something that you need to start with. So relax. We're just gonna start with hiragana and katakana. Kanji is something we will be learning gradually, and it's not necessary to learn every single kanji. Few of them will work for us. Alright, so moving forward, we have word order. Right? Word order, there is subject, object, verb, and we're gonna understand this by we're gonna understand this by an example, with an example. So for my English audience, it's gonna be a bit hard for you, because learning Japanese from English, it's a bit hard because the structure is completely opposite, right? But if for my Indian audience, it's gonna be easier for you, because learning Japanese from Hindi, it's easier. The structure pattern and many things are very similar between Japanese and Hindi. So if you look at it in English, how do we say that? How do we say that I'm eating something? So I eat sushi, right? That's how we say it. I eat sushi, or I do this, right? So subject, I eat, verb, and sushi, object. So S, B, O. That's the pattern we use. Subject, then verb, and at last we're going to use the object. But in Hindi, मैं sushi खाती हूँ, तो मैं is subject, sushi, object, खाती हूँ, verb. S-O-V. So subject, object, verb, right? And just like I said, Hindi and Japanese similar. So how we're gonna say that in Japanese? Subject, watashi. Object, object, watashi. Watashi wa. I'm not going to talk about particles right now, because this is something that will be confusing for you. So watashi wa sushi o, another particle, verb, eat, tabemasu. Watashi wa sushi o tabemasu. Watashi wa ramen o tabemasu. So subject, object, verb. That's how it goes in Japanese. So it's pretty similar to Hindi. And if you are someone whose native language is English, then it's going to be, then SVO, change it to SOV, subject, object, verb. A bit hard for you, but I'll make it easy for you, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so now the most important thing, JLPT, Japanese Language Proficiency Test. And these are the levels, N5, N4, N3, N2, N1. And why am I saying it backwards? Because that's how it goes. N1 is the hardest one, and N5 is the beginner-friendly one. So there are 5 levels, right? And it is an official exam used worldwide to measure your Japanese ability, right? And it is in 4 sections: reading, writing, speaking, and listening, right? There will be your reading and vocabulary in one section, and there will be one section for writing, and another one will be the listening part of it. The beginner level starts with N5. This is where most people begin. At this stage, you learn basic hiragana, not basic, fully hiragana, katakana, and vocabulary. Very, very basic sentences is the level you start understanding simple conversation and everyday words. Next comes N4. Here your understanding becomes a little more stronger. You start to read simple passages, learning more kanji, and understanding basic conversation more clearly. After this, N3, it is an intermediate level. At this stage, you can understand everyday Japanese and read short articles and follow conversations spoken at a more natural speed. Then we move to N2. This level means you can understand a wide range of topics. You can read newspapers, follow more complex discussions. Many people who want to work in Japan, they need to clear this level, N2 level. this is the advanced Japanese, and N1 is the top level where there is so many old kanjis, those kanjis which is more used on a literary basis, and not really in a conversation at all, and it's you can get a very you can get hired in a very prestigious company because of that. So these are the levels you can see. For kanji, we're going to talk about kanji. For N5, you need to know 100 to 150 kanji. In my time, I actually learned 150 kanji, but you just need to know 100. And I would recommend if you go with more preparation, like not really 100, 120, because sometimes you didn't learn the exact kanji. Just sometimes there is no exact pattern. One thing you need to note. One thing you need to get this thing in your head, that in JLPT exam, there is no proper syllabus of it. There is nothing provided or any kind of book that you can read and be like, I completed my syllabus. No. Okay, the most suitable, the most recommended book is Minna no Nihongo, and I started from that as well. But when it comes to kanji, you should be prepared more for that. You need to learn extra kanjis because there is no exact syllabus for it. There's no exact kanji for that. There can be some added on or some less, so you need to learn accordingly. In N4, you need to learn 300 kanji, 2 to 300 kanji. N3, 650 kanji, and N2, 1000, N1, 2000. We're not gonna go there. 100. Think of just 100 kanji that you have to go with 100 kanji first. Then we're gonna eventually upgrade ourselves. Now, if you're wondering where to take this JLPT exam, this is the authorized list for India only. For other countries, you can check that out on Google. You will get the list of it where you can give your JLPT exam. Make sure there is actually authorized centers for that, depending on which area you live, and especially authorized for a specific region. So you can check that out on Google. For India, this is the list. For example, in New Delhi, where I give exam, the exam is conducted by the Mombosho Scholars Association of India, which is also known as MOSAI. In Pune, there is Japanese Language Teacher Association Pune. Other cities includes Kolkata, Chennai, Bengaluru, Mumbai, Shantiniketan, and Karur in Tamil Nadu. So these are the only cities and areas where you can go and give this JLPT exam. It's not like it can't be the nearest location for you, but there aren't many centers for JLPT. But I think it actually covers many part of India. So depending on where you live, you can register to the organization responsible for your region. Okay, don't worry, I'll also explain how registration works in the next slide. So let's move on to that one. Okay, so now the registration part. Let's quickly go over some information about the JLPT exam. First, registration. Registration is done online through the websites of the local institution I mentioned earlier, right? Usually registrations open around March for the July exam and on August for the December exam. So and the results came out after 1 month, 1 to 2 months. Hardly 1 month, just one. So like if you gave exam in December, so December itself and January, so in the end of January you will get your results, right? Then the levels, I told you about the levels as well. There are 5 levels, but however not every center offers all 5 levels in both sessions, so it's always good to check before registering. Now your Japanese journey with me. If you are starting your Japanese journey, this is the path we'll be following together on this channel. Okay, so first we start with hiragana, katakana, and greetings basics. Then we have basic grammars and vocabulary, speaking practice. I'll be posting videos, short videos for conversation kind of video where you can practice speaking. Okay, so speaking is important because even though I completed N5, it's hard for me to speak. I'm just way too hesitant to speak in Japanese. Okay, so speaking itself is we can say is an important part of learning a specific language. We'll also study from very popular book that I already mentioned is Minna no Nihongo, which many Japanese language learners use worldwide. And finally, we'll be preparing for the JLPT exam, so you can test your skills and earn an official certification. We need that, right? So if that sounds exciting to you, let's start the journey together. Gambarimashou. And before we finish today's introduction video, if you have any questions about Japanese learning, JLPT exam, study materials, or even Japanese culture, feel free to ask in the comment section below. I'll try to answer them in the comment section itself, or if necessary, I will answer them in my upcoming videos, so don't hesitate, ask me anything. Thank you for joining me today. It was a bit overwhelming video for you, right? There's so many things, this, you have to learn this, that, there's so many levels. hold on. We're not gonna make it that hard. And it is actually not that hard. It was just an overview of Japanese. And in the next videos, I'll be starting with basic Japanese. So you don't have to worry about that. I will teach whatever I learned, my experiences, tips, tricks, and I will provide every kind of resources that I can provide you to make your Japanese learning easier. I will try my best to make your life easier, to make your Japanese journey easier. So don't worry about anything else. Just stay tuned for my videos. We will grow and learn step by step. So get every kind of shit out of here and focus on my next video. Okay, so stay tuned for my upcoming videos. Till then, bye bye, mata kuru ne.